You're in a relationship that's hurting you, and you know it. You're in a job that's draining you, and you know it. You have a habit that's slowly destroying your health, and you know it. And still, you don't change a thing. This isn't a lack of willpower, it's a symptom. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what's underneath it. But before I tell you what that mechanism is, I need you to understand something that's going to completely change the way you see yourself. It'll become clear later in this video through an experiment that neuroscientists call the compass paradox. Stick with me. There's a researcher named Lisa Feldman Barrett who spent decades studying emotions and arrived at a deeply unsettling conclusion. Most people don't actually know what they're feeling. Not because they're numb, but because the brain doesn't register emotions the way we think it does. It doesn't feel first and think second. It predicts what you're going to feel based on what you've experienced before. And when that prediction is distorted, something very specific happens to your behavior. The moment you're about to do something that actually matters to you, your brain runs a quick scan. Is this safe? Is this going to cost me something? If there's any trace of threat stored there, a past failure, someone's judgment, an old shame, it sends an alarm signal to your body. Your chest tightens, your shoulders creep up, your breathing gets shallow. And then the most sophisticated defense mechanism kicks in: logic. Your mind constructs a perfect, coherent, completely reasonable story for why you're not going to do that right now. And that story has a technical name in psychology. That mechanism is called adaptive self-deception. Unlike ordinary lying, it isn't intentional. It's your brain doing exactly what it was built to do: keep you alive and intact. The problem is that your brain can't tell the difference between the threat of a predator and the threat of sending a job application. To it, danger is danger. That's why you plan with genuine excitement and then freeze the moment it's time to execute. It's not laziness, it's protection. Now, the compass paradox. In Franz Kafka's novel, The Trial, a man named Joseph K. wakes up one morning accused of a crime that's never revealed to him. For the entire book, he tries to understand the charge, negotiate with the system, find a logical way out. He hires lawyers, he writes statements, he builds strategies. And the harder he tries to reason his way through it, the deeper he sinks into the maze. That's the paradox. His compass was pointing north, toward reason, but the way out was south, toward feeling. Joseph K. never finds the exit because he never stops thinking long enough to start feeling. And there's a real chance you're doing the exact same thing. So what do you actually do about it? The answer isn't more planning, more discipline, or more willpower. It's learning to name what you're feeling with greater precision. There's a concept called emotional granularity. The more emotional vocabulary you have, the better your nervous system can regulate what you're experiencing. Think about the difference between saying something hurts and I have a sharp pain on my lower right side after eating. The second description already points toward action. The first one doesn't. So the next time you freeze, instead of saying I'm anxious or I just don't feel like it, try to name it with more detail. There's a tightness in my chest that feels like fear of being judged. There's a heaviness in my shoulders that feels like obligation with no meaning behind it. There's an emptiness in my stomach that feels like I've lost the thread of why this matters. Each specific name is a door, and behind each door is a possible action, smaller, more honest, and more real than the perfect plan that never gets off the ground. In the end, what paralyzes most people isn't a lack of knowledge, it's too much narrative and too little contact with what's actually happening inside them. You're not stuck because you're weak. You're stuck because somewhere along the way you learned that feeling things was dangerous. And here's the good news. That can be unlearned one name at a time, one small step at a time, with your body, not against it. If this video touched something you couldn't quite name before, that right there is emotional granularity happening in real time. Drop a comment below with an emotion you feel often but struggle to put into words. I genuinely want to understand what's blocking the people who watch this. It helps me make content that actually reaches you where you are. If this resonated, share it with someone you think might need to hear that it's not their fault. Sometimes that's the only thing a person needs. And if you're not subscribed yet, every week I put out a video like this one, the kind that tries to go deep where most content stays shallow. See you next time.